Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chtib Zhang Show. It is episode 31. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the free agency frenzy that's going on in the NHL and in the NBA, as well as a little more NHL talk, a little Evander Kane and potentially other things, Weber and stuff like that. But as always, before we get into the episode, this episode is always brought to you by Hot Streak Fantasy, the best in-play fantasy app on the market. Pick 2 to 3 players in the NBA while you're watching your favorite teams and watch them make you some money. Hot Streak is matching your initial deposit as a bonus, so get the Hot Streak Fantasy app now. Make sure to use code HOTSAUCE2 when you're using it for promotional deals and stuff like that. As we know, the NBA right now is done, but the app will be moving into the MLB and NFL very soon. And we know NFL preseason is coming up next week. So if you're a fan of either of those leagues, probably want to get into this. So make sure to check that out. And as always, before we get into this week's episode, roll it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chtib Zhang Show, episode 31. Eric, we're back. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. As you could tell, maybe you could tell my voice. My nose is a little blocked. I think the vaccine, Eric, is giving me a cold. I don't know.
Maybe.
The Pfizer dose out here giving me a cold. Hindering my performance.
We still got to film, though. We still got to film.
Yeah, but the show always goes on.
Of course.
And I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. So so that if I sound a little under the weather and you're not watching the YouTube or anything like that, that is why. I have a little cold. No, I'm not sick. I don't think I have COVID. Usually it's a little rare after you get the second dose. Maybe it's a Delta variant. Who knows? Whatever. Anyway, moving on. As we move into today's episode, Eric, it is literally the free agency frenzy episode. Our first free agency frenzy of the Chtib Zhang Show between either league, NHL, and NBA. They usually happen simultaneously. So going into today's episode, we have NBA to talk about, a lot of sign-in trades because that's the thing in the NBA. And then we'll talk Montreal, their free agents, who they sign, what the team's looking like coming next season. Maybe talk a little Weber, what happened to him. Phil didn't know. Maybe Evander Kane, and the San Jose Sharks. A lot of drama around circulating him right now. So maybe look into that as well. But Eric, before we get into the NHL, let's start off with NBA. Haven't talked to NBA in a while.
Yeah.
A lot of NHL, a lot of NHL draft, Seattle Kraken, and not a lot of room for the NBA. But now with the free agency on the way, currently going underway, a couple of big deals actually went down the first couple days of free agency. And we're going to break it down, see how we think about some of these deals, so far in free agency and still early on. We'll see next week what happens. But a couple major trades already went down on the first day, Eric, involving the Toronto Raptors legend, Kyle Fickius Lowry. Kyle Lowry, Toronto legends, Toronto Mans. Maybe arguably the best Raptor of all time. There's an argument to be made about, DeRozan,
Vince
Carter, or even Kawhi you can make an argument for. But Kyle Lowry, arguably maybe the best Raptor of all time, is headed to the Miami Heat in a sign and trade deal. 3 years. What is that right here? 87 million, I said? Is it 87? Yeah, 3 years, 87 million, I think. $87 million deal, and in the return, the Raptors get Goran Dragic. Am I saying that right?
Goran
Dragic. Straight out of Lord of the Rings. Goran Dragic. Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah, that's an underrated part of the trade.
Second round pick, yeah. So they get Goran Dragic, who is, a good player in this league. Was a key player for the Miami Heat during their postseason run to the finals. And yeah, like you said, a promising prospect in Precious Achiuwa. Precious Achiuwa. Eric, do you know anything about him?
Oh, Precious Achiuwa, of course.
Yeah, let me tell you. Watch a couple Heat games, big Heat connoisseur.
Precious Achiuwa, man, he's still very young. I think he's probably 2021, very young. The way he plays, it's very like I think he's like 6'7", 6'8", super athletic. Is not like a big shooter, but like gets rebounds, like just a hustler. Like a lot of teams would love a player like Precious Achua. I know he's Nigerian. He was on that Nigerian team that beat the United States. Yeah, nice. And like Precious Achua was one of the key pieces on that team. So Kyle Lowry, he's probably gonna leave. It's nice that they did a sign and trade because usually players just leave, but it's nice that they did a sign and trade, got Goran Dragic back, got Precious Achua.
Yeah.
He didn't just leave, right? You can't just leave Toronto like that. Kyle Lowry's a legend in Toronto. Yep. Did so like just winning a ring. That's all he needed. He won a ring.
Mm-hmm.
He was arguably the second best player I'd like to say on that team, but it was time to move on. They're rebuilding. He did not fit at all in the plans where Toronto, in the plans where Toronto was going. I think he's like 30. He's mid 30s. And everyone else is like super young. Like they have Precious Achua. They have Gary Trent. Yeah. OG Anunoby's young. They just drafted Scotty Barnes.
Siakam, like not young, but
Siakam's still 26, 27. Yeah, Fred VanVleet's 26, 27, which isn't bad, right? It's still like in their primes. But Kyle Lowry was way off.
Yeah,
and I don't think they wanted to lock him up for around like $30 million a year. I don't think it was worth. I don't think they needed to. And I'm gonna be interested to see where they go from now on because now they have Goran. Goran's probably gonna be the starter. Most likely, like they might run Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet, but Goran's the vet. Yep. And I'm gonna be interested to see what Toronto's gonna do this year for sure. Yeah, but a lot of people, like obviously, a lot of people from Canada are sad to see Kyle Lowry leave, but they understand the situation. They got some value in return, and they ended on a good note. So it was nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. Kyle Lowry, what he did for the Raptors. You know, when the Raptors came into the league and, you know, when Vince Carter came along and Chris Bosh and they were somewhat competitive, they have never been as competitive as they have been with Kyle Lowry on the Toronto Raptors. Yeah. When they had, you know, they won the championship in 2019, but even before that, they were one of the best teams in the East for a while there.
Guaranteed 50 win seasons all the time. Remember
yeah,
that?
so
wins,
Kyle Lowry has been on the best Toronto Raptor teams. You could, you know, if you put them in order, he's on a few probably. Very key piece in the 2019 run there with Kawhi. Like you said, he won a championship. And, you know, a Toronto sports figure, Eric, that's hard enough to do. If you were to compare him to, I don't know, who would you compare him to Toronto, like royalty, like the Maple Leafs or something, like Doug Gilmour or something like that? You can compare him to his status.
Like
Toronto legend, right?
Yeah. Royalty. 100%.
Toronto Raptors royalty. So you got to pick out some Toronto Maple Leafs royalty. I'm trying to get that comparable, but it just goes to show how important Kyle Lowry was to this franchise.
Exactly.
And the Heat take a gamble on, you know, they get the guy they've been wanting for a while now, Kyle Lowry. His name has always come up with 76ers, the Heat now for a couple years. And they pay Kyle Lowry over $30-something million a year, which could be a bit of a gamble, but it's a 3-year deal, and the Heat plan on staying competitive for those 3 years.
Exactly.
With Jimmy Butler now re-signing, and others. PJ Tucker joins them, and so they get help on defense. And the Raptors stay competitive, picking up Dragic. They get a nice prospect in Precious, and it's we'll get down the line of the list that went down in the NBA. It's just like something about these sign and trade deals is, you know, I don't really get it. When you look at, you know, the DeMar DeRozan trade and Lonzo Ball trade, you know, the Raptors got a nice prospect out of that trade. Whereas other teams are just kind of like, whatever. Like,
but you have to see it like this with the sign and trades. The player could have left. I know
that. Completely I'm saying there's got to be teams bidding against each other for this player.
Fair. But then the player goes, I'm going to go to this team. I'm going to see what this team can give you in return. And that's what usually happens, because usually it's like the player can literally, like Kyle Lowry could have just left. Like he was a UFA. He could have just left.
Okay, well, no, let's look at this, though. Like, look, Lonzo Ball, second trade. Also, he's going to go to the Bulls 4 years, $85 million. So like Fred VanVleet contract type, Malcolm
Yeah.
Brogdon. Here's a trade. The Pelicans get Thomas Satoransky back, Barrett
Yeah.
Temple, and a second round pick.
There's
That's
there's
nothing.
not a
There's
lot of
nothing there.
almost
So
nothing.
you're telling me there's no teams like bidding against the Bulls for
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball? Like that's nothing. That's nothing. That's not. They don't lose anything. The Bulls, yeah, the Bulls don't lose anything. They get Lonzo Ball and they don't lose anything. They're just cap eating. They just eat up their cap. That's it.
But fair, but I'm telling you, I don't think there's a lot of teams that would pay Lonzo Ball 4 years, 85 million. I'll be honest, Lonzo Ball is a very good player. He's one of my favorite players, but there's not that many teams in the league that need a point guard like Lonzo Ball, and that would pay him that much. 4 years, 85 million
Yeah.
for
Well, that's just the Bulls.
for a pretty inconsistent point guard who's very good defensively, very well rounded. All he's missing is just a bit more
Well,
consistency.
listen.
He needs one good season, and he's good.
Yeah. Hopefully now with the team the Bulls are building, Lonzo Ball can I don't know, not change his game, but help develop his game now, playing with players that could put the ball in the net.
Exactly.
Ball in the net. But yeah, Lonzo Ball goes to the Bulls, and now the third trade that happened today, Eric. DeMar DeRozan, Spurs legend, has gone to the Chicago Bulls for Thaddeus Young, a first-round pick, 2 second-round picks.
Did you say Spurs legend as sarcastically or?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
of course. Yes,
but he's still good. He wasn't bad with the Spurs, so I don't know if it merited.
Just a weird transition in his
Yeah,
career.
fair.
Just a step.
Very
like
weird.
Like a gas station. That's how I see it. You know, the
It
Spurs were like a gas
ruined
station.
his legacy, man. It ruined his legacy.
Gas station. Hopefully now with the Bulls he can do something. But DeMar DeRozan heading to Chicago to 3 years, $85 million deal. Excuse me. For Thaddeus Young, like I said, first round pick. So DeMar DeRozan, 31. This is what I mean. Thaddeus Young, he's a good player. Averaged 12. Nearly 13 points per game. His 3-point shooting is not. It's pretty much the same as DeMar DeRozan. But yeah, first round pick, Bulls first round pick, not lottery protector or anything. That could be a big asset come next year, depending on where the Bulls finish. Yeah. But I expect this team that they're building to at least make a playoff push, especially with the NBA play-in tournament coming.
Yeah,
I don't know. A lot of the biggest deals have been around the Bulls, have been centered around the Bulls. So now you look at their starting five. Zach LaVine is still there. You have Vucevic at center. You have DeMar DeRozan now and Lonzo Ball. And then we were saying Williams is going to be their fifth.
Patrick Williams,
not their fifth at center, but
who's their fourth overall draft pick. Last draft. They also have like Larry Markin,
who's still a good young player. So yeah, the Bulls are they're trying to build this team, trying to see if these players work together. DeRozan, Ball, and that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Will they make them better? Yeah, I expect this. Yeah, because of the Bulls team they had last year, I expect this team to be better. I don't know, unless something colossally bad goes down with the chemistry of the team.
But don't forget, even last season when they got Vucevic, they got LaVine. They still finished 11th. And the thing is, Vucevic, his whole career, he's always been on like AFC 9 seed team, right?
Yeah.
Always. You look at it, DeRozan last few seasons with Spurs, always 8th. Last year he didn't make playoffs, like low seeds. Lonzo Ball, always 8th seed or did make the playoffs. Or actually, I don't think Lonzo ever made the playoffs. So, and then even LaVine, I don't think he's ever made the playoffs either.
Nope.
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Or maybe I don't believe so. So it's one of those. It's like, okay, the talent's there. Like there's so many good players, but these players they don't have playoff experience, or just not enough playoff experience. That it's hard to tell how far they can go because there's so many like variables going on, and like. I don't know. It's gonna be very like the team's loaded.
It just depends how they play together.
They have to get a very good coach. And I don't know if they already got someone, hired someone, but I'm telling you, like the coaching is what usually messes up the Chicago Bulls. They had that other guy who was terrible for them, but
the ball guy.
Yeah, the ball guy.
Yeah.
So. I'm interested to see how this team's gonna do. I think they might squeeze into a playing round, probably as an 8th, maybe 9th. close, but
19?
because the East, you can't forget. If you look
Yeah,
at
I
the
know.
teams, pretty
It's
stacked,
loaded.
very stacked right now. So
Listen, they finished 11th last year in the conference. So you would expect a bump up
yeah,
this year, right? If you look at their conference, but the Knicks have been signing players. The Nets are there, 76ers, Hawks, Heat,
Hawks, yeah,
Celtics. The Wizards are going to drop most likely,
yeah. But
losing
don't
Russell
forget,
Westbrook, maybe
yeah,
Bradley Beal.
Hornets are still gonna be good. You know,
Yeah, Hornets, the Pacers are still going to be there.
Pacers,
The Raptors, who knows what they're going to be looking
Yeah,
like.
Raptors are probably gonna make playoffs this year,
Yeah, so
maybe.
the Bulls are going to be competing with a lot of teams here for these last seeds. The Pacers, the Hornets, the Celtics. Who knows? Who know how what they look like with a new coach, a new system, and everyone. Yep, it's gonna be interesting. Because there's still too many loaded teams in the East, and just that team. Let me, chemistry is huge in basketball. Let's look at their shooting situation. We know DeMar's not the biggest 3-point shooter.
Oh
I
no,
don't
no.
know. How's their like? Look at the starting five. Who's shooting the ball? Who's shooting the
Exactly.
ball
So
from outside?
Lonzo, he fixed his shot. So
Sure,
now he's like
yeah.
around a 38% for 3-point shooter, but it's a lot of spot ups, and I don't know if to me, I'm gonna be honest, I'm very biased towards all the ball
The
players,
ball.
like the ball family players, because I've been following them for so long.
Yeah. Keep it up with the
LaMelo Ball is
balls.
2 days older than me. Like we have like that connection, like just the whole Ball family. Like I have a very deep connection with. So I might be a bit biased because I've been following them.
What?
But
First of all, that is the craziest saying I've ever heard. I have a deep
wow.
connection with the Ball family. I haven't heard one person ever say that. A deep
No,
connection with the Ball family.
I'm just not. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I
Like,
get it. You watched their little Facebook
oh
show.
no, not just that. Bro, I've watched I've watched videos on YouTube that literally have like 100.
Reruns.
No, literally have like 100 views, and it's just about like the Ball family stuff. Like, I've like I don't know. I just find it so entertaining. So I've been following them. I think Lonzo is going to be a great player for the Bulls. I think his shooting will stay consistent. Zach LaVine obviously is a very good shooter. There's no worries there. Zach LaVine will score.
Yeah.
On the defensive side, there might be some issues.
Yeah.
And what happens if he's not the number one ball handler? Will he be able to perform as well as he used to?
Because Vucevic took time away from Zach LaVine.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got DeRozan, who never been a good 3-point, very good mid-range shooter though. Never been a good 3-point shooter. Everyone knows that. Toronto knows that. And then obviously you have Vucevic, who's a good center that can shoot, but obviously not that good. So it's not like their shooting is gonna be awful. It's just every time you get DeRozan on your team, it's like he's a shooting guard / small forward, and usually the shooting guard / small forward, it's one of the positions where you expect that player to be able to shoot threes. You know,
they just got it's gonna like you said, it's gonna come down to this coaching staff, the chemistry to be able to utilize their players to their abilities, but put them in situations to in their advantage to exploit the other defenses. I don't know. They got to figure out a system here because you have DeMar DeRozan, who arguably was a primary scorer in Toronto and San Antonio. Lonzo Ball has always been inconsistent, like you said. And now, like with the ball sharing with Vucevic, Zach LaVine, DeMar, the big three, this isn't the Brooklyn Nets where you just have superstars that can just, Team USA pass the ball around. It's gonna be a weird team. It's gonna be interesting. If it clicks, it could work out. But I could also see it being a failure, a colossal failure. Because defensively, I don't know, not that good. The team right now, how they look defensively, like Vucevic is great. I love Vucevic.
but he's
not really a good defender in the five.
Zach LaVine's not that good of a defender.
DeRozan, okay.
DeRozan's not bad. Lonzo's actually a really good defender. People don't really understand that. Like he's actually one of the best point guard defenders in the league. But I don't know.
See, it's gonna be them Chicago Bulls, the Bears, the Bulls, Eric, the Bulls making a run for
don't
the
forget,
8th
you
seed.
guys forgot they got one of the best players in the league too, Alex Caruso.
Yes, Caruso too.
Bro,
that
Caruso
actually
got
could be a
paid.
huge thing. Yeah, he did
Caruso
get
got
paid.
paid,
I was
man.
surprised about that too. You know what it is? It's got to be like, I forget what his contract was, but it's also
4
because
years,
it's like a fan.
million.
He also
4 years,
brings
37 million, bro. Like what?
listen, he's a good defender, Caruso. We know that.
Yeah.
He's a good defender. And when he chips in offensively, it's fun. Also, it brings fans to the stadiums. Caruso, he was a Lakers legend for Christ's sakes. Lakers legend. Close that goddamn door. But yeah, it was a Lakers legend. So yeah, Bulls. Yeah, it's a fan base thing, but he's a good player too. But yeah, 4 years, 37 was.
He's not gonna get paid.
Yeah.
He's not gonna get paid $37 million because he's a fan favorite. Like, give some credit, Caruso. He's an undrafted player. He grinded to get where this guy played in the G League. Like, people like him because he's a hard worker.
Yep.
Once he made it the league, he was an important part of the championship team. I think he started for bro, this guy, he can shoot. He's athletic. He can play defense. He can do everything. Obviously, he's maybe not the starting point guard caliber player that the Lakers want. Point guard. But he's not. But that's why you're only paying him $9 million a year, something like that.
Yeah,
$9 million is not that much in the NBA. It's good. It's good money for a backup. So it's a good contract for him. I'm very happy for him because he's worked extremely hard. He's only 25, 20. He's still relatively young.
But I'm not gonna say he has potential.
Oh, he doesn't have potential.
But this is his peak, right?
Yeah, but still, he's a very good role player. And in the NBA, you pay role players around $7, $8, $9 million, and that's fine.
But what is his new contract now?
So I think it's 4 years, 37. It's something like that.
Which quick maths is?
It's 9 point something.
So then he's kind of making the money he deserves, right?
Yeah, exactly. So exactly 4 years, $37 million. Exactly.
Oh, maybe they're trying to build that.
And
bench.
He's 27 years old. I know he got that old already.
Now you got to start building the bench from the inside. You got the starters. Now you got to start building that bench.
But how crazy is that? He's getting paid 9 point something million. He only averaged 6.4 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.8 assists.
What about his takeaways though? Steals, sorry.
Oh, not that maybe one steal a game. I can't see right now. But
I know he's a good defender though.
No, he's a very good defender, but it's just funny because we talk about the NHL. You pay someone $9 million,
well, yeah,
that's crazy.
Sports.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, what's $9 million in the NHL? What's NBA? What is it? A backup, a fourth line, a third line player.
It'd be 3.5. I'd say 3 million, 3 million, 3.5 million.
That's not actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Especially some of the deals, some guys are getting underpaid.
Oh yeah.
Which we can still talk about the NBA. I know the Lakers added,
a lot of pieces. Carmelo. I don't know if we talk about Russell Westbrook.
Oh my God, we didn't talk about Russell Westbrook. I didn't even see that trade. Oh my God.
So yeah,
Russell Westbrook's headed to the Lakers for what?
Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah,
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell.
I don't. I think it's 1 or 2 for a bunch of first round picks and 1 or 2 first round picks and 1 or 2 second round picks. I forgot what it was, but it was something like that. And to be honest, it's a pretty fair trade. Russell, because the reason why it doesn't sound as much as it is because Russell Westbrook's on a $40 million contract. $40 million for an aging superstar who can barely shoot but very athletic and brings a crazy energy.
Who's this, Westbrook?
Yeah, Westbrook.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I mean, they have LeBron still on the team. They're going to win every year.
But $40 million, you want to pay?
Doesn't matter. It's the Lakers, Eric.
I know.
They'll pay the luxury tax every year.
I'm just saying that's the reason why they didn't have to pay. They didn't have to trade so much for Russell Westbrook. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, it was a bad contract, it looked like, for the Wizards there. So they got rid of that. But yeah, it was Contavious Caldwell-Pope was going the other way. Montrezl Harrell, Kuzma, 2021 first-round pick, which is 22nd overall. Okay. Did you see what Kyle Kuzma tweeted on Twitter? I found it hilarious.
Yeah, with
picture
Bradley Beal.
Let's go dominate. Let's go run the city.
I think, he's Beal the deal. I was like,
what?
And he photoshopped a picture too where I was like, yo, get out of here.
Kyle Kuzma. This guy. The Lakers are slapping themselves in the face because they traded Brandon Ingram, who they thought you would become. They traded the wrong guy.
Oh, yeah.
Here you are, the bench player in LA, in LeBron's shadow forever, never to be shown to the light. And then you think you're a superstar in Bradley Beal. You're going to run it down in Washington. Yeah, have fun being the 10th, 12th seed. He's leaving Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal isn't sticking around with freaking Kyle Kuzma.
No.
He wants that. Yeah, you talk. Yeah, whatever. But he wants to win. That's the NBA now.
Bro, I don't understand why. Yo, Kuzma, Kuzma was only a superstar. Like, no, he's never a superstar. I'm just saying, like, he was only popular because he was in LA. This guy averaged 13 points a game, terrible in the playoffs, couldn't make a shot for his life, and then he's already 26 years
Oh
old,
yeah,
which is pretty old. Like,
it's the
he's 26.
potential.
Like, there's not that much.
Ooh.
No, but there's not. He's 26. Where's the potential? Like,
No, I mean the potential people thought he had.
yeah,
They trade Brandon Ingram away
because
they thought this guy
that
was the shit.
season he had he
was good that
averaged
season
18
too.
points, which wasn't bad. He averaged 18 points. He was only like 23, so they were like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. And then Brandon Ingram, all-star, everything. Even Lonzo Ball is probably better than Kuzma is now. So
I think that I think that hurt his confidence a lot. That might be career-ending confidence killer. LeBron James trading all his teammates away, and he's like, Kuzma, you're just shit enough to be around here. No, he would have traded him too. Well, he did trade him.
But you see, Lakers signed so many people like Carmelo, Ken Bazemore, Malik Monk.
Yeah, Malik Monk.
Like even Taylor Herter.
Well, yeah, man. As long as you have LeBron, you got to go for it every year.
But they have a lot of really good role players that
yeah, and it's good. They got Schroeder out of there. That was good. That guy was terrible for them. Dennis Schroeds. Is it German?
Yeah.
Is it German? Yeah, he's gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
But where did he go? He's not signed yet, is he?
I don't know if he left, but I just know they didn't sign him. I don't know what's happening with that.
Is he signed? What's his on his deal? Is 1 year left? No, or like he's done. He's a free agent, right?
He's a free agent, bro.
They're not gonna re-sign Dennis.
Bro, I saw it was so bad for them in the playoffs. Post. This guy was asking for like $100 million.
No, $100 million. Yeah, okay, maybe like 70 something million, 60 something, like 70 million. Dennis, no, he's probably worth like 70 something. 80 something.
I'd pay him maybe 60.
DeRozan's 3 year, 85 million. So what are you paying Schroeder?
But I'd pay Schroeder like 16 to 18 million dollars a year. He's still this season he was in that like he was off, but like
I don't think
OKC
he
was really good. So
I think LeBron has another vision. Russell Westbrook's that vision. What do you mean? They're not re-signing. They just got Westbrook. That closes the book on him. That closes the book. They're not signing him. Yeah, it's done. Good. He's bad for the Lakers, man.
He's going to Shanghai Sharks. Fuck.
Shanghai Sharks? He's going to China?
No, that's a joke.
It should go to China. Yeah, go to Shanghai, China. Shanghai Sharks?
Yeah, that's where Ben Simmons going next year too. So.
Oh yeah, Ben Simmons. Oh my God, do you see that trade offer for the Raptors?
Oh, yo,
the memes and stuff.
I would never in my life.
So yeah, we'll take OG Siakam, Gary Trent Jr., Van Vliet, and we'll give you Ben Simmons. What a joke. Anyway, NBA free agency. Yeah, it's making its way. Curry got re-signed to Golden State. $215 million for 4 years. Eric, I did the math. That's like $53 million a year. Curry is the first player in NBA history who's now signed back-to-back deals that have surpassed $200 million. So Steph Curry will be making $53 million when his contract now expires. Whenever this one kicks in, maybe next year, right? Because I don't know how many years left he had on the other one.
I think he had like 1 or 2.
But he gets extended. But yeah, I don't know what else has happened. Big trades. I think that's it, right? The big names. I'm probably missing. I mean, there's some. Yeah, I don't care about Mike Conley. I don't care about the stars re-signing, because that's pretty obvious. Yeah. Mike Conley's re-signed with
Utah.
That's a bad signing, Eric. Bad signing. Utah should have went all in. They should have just freaking got another third guy.
Mike Conley is
Mike Conley. All right, we'll have fun. This is just gonna be another second round, third. Another Utah. We'll gun for the second seed or whatever. But come playoff time, it's like Rudy Gobert playoff. Rudy Gobert is like, just okay. I play defense and
just watch the season. Just watch.
That's the 3 they're going into next year, and that count my hopes up on Utah. There never was any hope. Anyway, that's about it, right? NBA, we said, pretty much. It's only been 2 days. Yeah. So some big trades already, and we just been through them. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. The Heat, they get Kyle Lowry. It's gonna be him and Jimmy Butler. It's gonna be fun to watch them go with Bam and everyone, the whole shebang. And the Bulls. It's gonna be interesting. The Bulls to look out for. As we can move away from the NBA era, go into the NHL, where Montreal Canadiens and the NHL completely are also going through free agency. Few days in compared to the NBA. Montreal has made a few signings, a few splashes. Went through my list. This is how, don't know why I put them like this, but I did. We can start with the re-signings. Arturi Lehkonen gets re-signed by the Canadiens on a 1-year, $2.3 million deal. Great deal. Very good deal. Yoel Armia, 4 years, 13.6. That's about 3.4 average. We'll get into that. Who else got re-signed? That's about it, I think, for re-signs. Yeah, Sperry Kotkaniemi. They're still waiting. I'm still waiting on that contract. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't happened yet. I thought that'd be done with. It's not, so we wait.
That one's a really hard one to sign because
it's a bridge deal.
You see him as okay. If they're signing a bridge deal, like a 3-year
yeah, of course,
deal, but
they're gonna sign
usually
him
bridge
8 years.
deals. You'd ask like, oh, give me like $3 million for both, or $3-4 million.
Yeah, but him, he didn't really do much, so he's gonna ask for like, if it was a bridge deal, it'd be like 2 years or even 3 years. Like, man, I wouldn't say 4. I wouldn't give him 4.
You would give him 4?
No, bro. Look at his numbers over the season.
Hey, he scored some goals in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's great in the playoffs, but like, okay.
Yeah, but don't forget, bridge deal is also
4 years. Like, no, he's like 3 point something.
You gotta look at potential still. Like, do you still see Kotkaniemi as
bridge deal? Bridge deal is.
I know.
Kotkaniemi is a chance now. This is his last chance to get before he gets a big contract.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it's gonna be 3 years, it's gonna be 2 years, but it's gonna be something short. I don't expect it to be over 4. Don't expect that. I don't know how they would swindle.
He's already had 4 seasons in the NHL, I think. Was it? Yeah, it's probably 4 seasons or 3 seasons already.
3 seasons.
3 seasons. He's shown already like how much
he's shown promises, and then he takes a step forward, Eric. He takes 2 steps back. That's what he does. Exactly. Yeah, he's shown promise a lot of times, and then most of the time in the season he's just inconsistent. He's not playing. He's not passing the puck. He's not making plays. And in the playoffs, he's great in the playoffs. Those 2 years, he's already there. And then he kind of cooled down after the Toronto series. But he was good in the playoffs. But still, yeah, not 4 years. He hasn't done anything. It's fine, though. He'll have the shot. He's going to get an increased time now with Philip Deneau gone. Fuck Philip Deneau, eh? The one guy I wanted the Habs to re-sign is
would you guys re-sign him for that much?
No. Remember what I said? I said shorter deal, higher money. He gets signed 6 years to play in Los Angeles, City of Angels. Good for him. Summertime. Doesn't have to go through the Quebec winters again. So he signed 6 years, $5.5 million AAV. This makes no sense to me. He goes to the media and basically explains that he didn't re-sign with the Habs because of the decreased role that he was eventually going to get, and Suzuki and Kotkaniemi, and then totally contradicts himself and goes and signs with Los Angeles, who may have the best center depth league soon, maybe the best center depth, rookie wise and current player wise in the league. I mean, you have Anze Kopitar, who's going to be the bona fide, and he's a Selke winner, right? So he does what Philip Deneau does, right? But is better offensively. So he's their first line center. Second line will probably be Phil Deneau this year. For year 1 will probably be Phil Deneau. And then Byfield will probably be third line. And then whatever. But come year 2, year 3, Phil Deneau, whenever it's 6 years in, right? It's a 6-year deal. Come year 2, year 3 into this deal, he's going to get a rude awakening.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You get a rude awakening because eventually he'll be playing on the third line.
But let's see it like this. Philip Deneau's 28. He's on a 6-year contract. He's 28. Look at this is what his numbers were this season, right?
Offensively, yeah.
Offensively. Obviously, we all know how good he's on defense, but you're not going to pay someone over $5 million just because they're a good offensive defense. Defensive.
You'd be surprised. Right? What he did in the playoffs, man. Oh, my, did he ever gain value? Crazy value.
Okay. This guy got 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists in 22 games. Okay,
in the playoffs. I understand. Remember?
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Nobody was saying a thing about it.
Yeah, I know. But it looked like he did in the regular season, 24 points in 53 games. like it's still like the year before he had 47 and 71, and then he
Yeah,
had 53
but his
and 81.
offensive
So
game's
he
gonna
showed
dip.
exactly. But it's like, are you gonna pay someone over $5 million just for their defense? As I said, obviously,
No, that's why I didn't want to overpay for him. And I knew
for
a
a
team
6 year
would. I
a
knew a team
6 year
would.
deal, yo.
I knew a team would give him what he wanted, and I said, whatever, whoever that team is, you screwed yourself. But the Kings are good with cap space, right? They have a lot of young rookies. It's just, this 6-year deal could hurt them down the road.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's look at their center depth first of all. They have Anze Kopitar first line center for the next, whatever his contract is. Like I said, first year, Phil Danault is probably going to play second line center. I would think so. Quentin Byfield plays third line, and fourth line, I forget. Anyway, it doesn't matter because down the road, you'll have Gabe Vilardi coming back, or coming up, who's a center and who's one of their top prospects.
Very promising. Yeah.
So just even, I know they have other center prospects. They're blank in my mind right now. Anyway, just those guys. You have Kopitar, Byfield, and Vilardi as like your future basically. And I don't know if the plan eventually is to have Gabe Vilardi.
Is Alex?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he a winger or center? I forget. But if he's a center, it doesn't help them out. But yeah, Phil Danault contradicts himself and goes to LA where it's the same problem is going to happen to him. The same problem. He's going to get decreased ice time. He's not going to get enough ice time for him to score enough. And yeah, he'll be able to shut down the opposing center, but not at 6 years, $5.5 million.
But let's be honest, it was for the Montreal was not giving him 6 years, 5.5.
They would have given him 5.5, not 6 years though.
That's what I'm saying.
Not 6 years.
Obviously, he can say all day, he can say, "Oh, it was because." No, bro, it's for the money. I respect it though. You got it.
Well, listen, it's also a great place to play, Los Angeles.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's West Coast in the sun.
The taxes are kind of tough right now. The taxes are
really. I thought California, the taxes. Oh no, they are. Yeah, you're right. A lot of people are leaving. Yeah, taxes are tough. Yeah, but taxes are also tough in Quebec, just as tough, right? So, I don't think it bothers him playing in LA. I mean, everyone wants to play in LA. You don't ever hear taxes as a big argument come up. But yeah, kudos for Phil. I mean, yeah, he's gonna be making $5.5 million, probably playing, 14, 13 minutes a game eventually down the line. Who knows? Yeah. Probably not, because the defensive two-way centers are big when it comes playoff time and stuff like that. It's gonna be interesting. Some way, I like this deal, and others I don't. I like Philip Danault. He's a great player.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, if you want to win a cup, you need guys like Phil Danault on your team. 100%. You need shutdown centers. So I like Phil Danault. I like he's going to be a great player on the Kings, I feel like. I just feel like down the road, Phil Danault is going to be like, oh my God, how did I not see this coming? Which is crazy because everyone else is seeing it coming. But listen, if he's going to bet on himself to outperform Byfield and freaking Vilardi, go ahead. You have my confidence, Phil Danault. Don't see it though. So yeah, that was a bit strange. LA. I wonder what other teams were offering. I want to know. I really do. What other teams are interested? I know Montreal, LA, but I want to know who else was interested in him. Because that's pretty, who else would have liked Phil Danault on their team for that much money? So yeah, Phil Danault goes to LA. He leaves the Canadiens. So the Canadiens right now, Eric, not thin on center. But Suzuki is now the number one center in Montreal. Good for him. KK is projected to be the second line center, but I don't know. And then they signed Cedric Paquette, who's also a center. But I'm looking at, I don't know. They might need another center, Eric. I'm looking at their centers, and they're young. They're very, very young, not really experienced. So I don't know if they're going to get another guy. But this is what I was afraid of going into next season. Without Phil Danault, it was this responsibility of Suzuki and Kotkaniemi having to shut down the other opposing centers. Because we'll see what Suzuki has grown. His 200-foot game is growing. I could see it, and it's going well. He could become that 200-foot player. Not as good as Phil Danault. We'll see if he ever gets as good, but we'll see how he does against Matthews and McDavid and, the Tampa guys and shit like that, whatever. So Suzuki, first line center, Danault's gone. Montreal continues their signing spree, of course. And this is what I hate about this team. The biggest thing I hate about this team is how they run this organization about the French players and French coach and gotta have Quebec players on the team. So then they go out and they go to fucking Village de Valar and pick out all the best Quebecers left on the market. So Matthew Perreault, 1 year, 950K, great player. That's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Jean-Sebastien Day, like whatever. He's not getting signed if his name's not Day, so that's that. Or Jean-Sebastien. He's never gonna, 750K, whatever. Cedric Paquette. Yeah, he's a good player.
He's good though. He's good.
I like him. David Savard, 4 year, 14 million. Yeah, Quebecer. But here's the question: is where the fuck are these guys gonna play? Where are these guys gonna play?
Well,
like,
Savard's gonna get some playing time.
No, Savard 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
playing top four. But where is Paquette going to be sent? Like, I'm looking at. I made a mock of the team. I have Toffoli, Suzuki, Caulfield first line. Oh, Mike Hoffman, we could talk about. Great deal, 3 years, $4.5 million AAV. That's a great deal for Mike Hoffman. Absolutely, that's a fantastic deal. One of the most underrated goal scorers in the league.
It's going to be a very similar contract to Toffoli, I find, because Toffoli was very similar.
And that's going to help the power play out. Like, there's no excuse. This power play needs to click next year. You're going to have Caulfield and Hoffman on opposite wings on their 1Ts. So it should open up room. So Mike Hoffman, I put him second line left wing, KK and Gallagher.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, Dom Ducharme has, like, his hands filled right now with trying to match up these guys. Yeah. And then who knows if Jonathan Drouin still wants to play with the Montreal Canadiens, if he's going to come back LTI. I said I'm putting him down. I put him Drouin. I put Ryan Poehling in there because I figured he'd get a crack at the NHL. We'll see in training camp. He played pretty well with Laval this season.
Yeah.
So I'd expect him to do something in training camp. Josh Anderson there, and then Lehkonen. Jake Evans is going to play, right? He's quickly growing as a good centerman, and Yoel Armia is our 3.4 AAV on the fourth line. Now, Armia was a bit of a weird deal. I did say Armia I liked. 4 years, 3.4. I don't know. He might turn into that Paul Byron deal where people are like, oh yeah, Paul Byron's a good player, but like I totally want to get rid of his contract. Because Paul Byron makes like 3-something, and was kind of just being inconsistent during the regular season. So I feel like Armia will turn into that player because he's on the fourth line now, making $3.4 million. And he's not playing with Stahl and what's his face, Perry. And Perry leaves, and Matthew Perreault signed to replace him. But where are these guys? Like, I get it. Bergevin loves having, you can never have enough defensemen, never have enough healthy scratches, right? That's fine and stuff, but Perreault and Paquette and all these guys, like
they're not playing for Laval. Like, they're too good to play for Laval. In my opinion.
And I really wanted Poehling to crack the team next year. I really wanted this guy to crack the team, and now it makes it way harder for him when he has to compete against these Quebecers, Perreault and Paquette and all these guys.
But look what Cole Caulfield did. Like, he had a lot of competition.
Different though, way different. Cole Caulfield and Poehling are different players. Cole Caulfield is a stud, and he's already proven it. Poehling still needs to prove himself, but he had a good year in Laval, and I expected him to get a crack. And we'll see a training camp. Hopefully, he does that. But you just made his competition even tougher, which is good. But I don't know. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? It's weird signings. Like, where are you going to play these guys? And just questionable signings. Still good players. I still don't believe they don't get signed here unless they have Quebec last names. Because Phil Deneau left. Who knows what Drouin, if he's playing. So then you don't have any Quebecers on your team, right? So you got to sign Quebecers. So David Savard and all these guys. Chris Weidman gets signed. That's a good deal. Played with Ottawa and then went to the KHL. Won KHL Defenseman of the Year. $750K. There's nowhere. You can never have too many defensemen. He's a puck-moving defenseman too. We'll see. Maybe he takes Kulak's spot at times, playing with Romanov. Who knows? But Shea Weber, Eric injured, won't play next year, and Shea Weber's career is in jeopardy. Where his foot injuries that he's been struggling through in Montreal, he might never play again, which is completely sad. Tough to hear. Shea Weber, when he was healthy and he was at his absolute best, this guy was our best defenseman. And he's a great captain, great leader. It's just, it's tough. But there is a part of me, I don't know if this is sickening of me, is him on LTIR. It's not something I would wish upon.
Okay, fair. There you go.
I would never wish someone to be on LTIR for like 6 years or 5 years, whatever it was on their contract. But I also don't hate that he's on LTIR. Like I don't.
Fair,
It
fair.
like it doesn't.
It
Like
does
this
help the
guy
team
is
get
signed
up.
for 5 more years at 7.8 or something like that. A ridiculous deal. And this helps our cap situation like tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
And Weber, you saw this year he was, the inconsistency, and then in the playoffs he was good, but next year, he was on miles, right? Like how many miles does Shea Weber have left? And not that many. So, Shea Weber, yeah, it's tough. He's a good player, a good guy. I don't know him personally, but I can assume so. And yeah, I always wanted this guy to win a cup. Looks like that might not happen, and that's gonna hurt his Hall of Fame selection. First ballot's gonna hurt it. I don't know if he makes it into the Hall of Fame. Hopefully, but yeah, his career might be done. That's tough,
There
but
you go.
okay for the cap. I don't hate it. I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but I think a lot of Habs fans also agree with me with that statement that like like he's on LTIR, Eric. I don't think I would like if I had the opportunity, I would take him off LTIR. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's gonna save our cap situation. Oh, big time.
of course, of course.
And that could screw the Nashville Predators if he retires because of front loading the contracts. When they front load the contracts, the NHL, they made rules against it. So now if he retires, Nashville will have to pay that contract because they front loaded it when they signed him years ago.
Damn. Okay.
So it's going to hurt Nashville if he retires. Oh, yeah. Nashville is going to be pissed if he retires because that hurts their cap and everything. So, yeah. So, yeah, Montreal. Eric, either they just make the playoffs or they're a borderline team, the Montreal Canadiens, this year, in my opinion, because they lose experience. They gain some skill talent with Mike Hoffman, yeah, but they lose. David Savard is a notch below Shea Weber, right? David Savard's not going to replace Shea Weber. He's a notch below him. He has a notch below his shot, notch below his defensive capabilities, especially in front of his net. Shea Weber's, I believed, was the best defenseman, checking defenseman in front of his own net with his cross checks and stuff. David Savard won't bring that physicality and that same type game.
But he still is.
But he's like, he's a notch below. Like I said, 4 million.
Yeah,
great. Or no, 3.5. Sorry, great deal. Sherratt deal, and look what Ben Sherratt has turned into. Exactly. If Sherratt hit the open market, he'd make like 6.5 million or something like that. The way he's been eating, not 6.5, probably like 5.5. The minutes he eats a night. So David Savard, Petrie, and Edmondson most likely will start first pairing, and it's Petrie will have increased role, and David Savard. But I think they're also going to go on a rotate the big four. The big four they're going to rotate around, and Kulak puck are one of our only puck moving defensemen on the team, and Romanov. Montreal needs a puck moving defenseman. There's not a lot of puck moving defensemen left on free agency, so I don't think they're going to pick another guy up. That's the biggest flaw of their defensive core right now is they don't have any puck movers. No one that can move the puck, really, besides Kulak. Chris Weidman can move the puck. And Romanov, I haven't seen crazy puck movement skills yet. Who knows? But the top four guys don't really move it. Jeff Petrie at times,
I still can't believe Montreal signed Chris Weidman. Like, Chris, that's such a throwback. Like, this guy was... Like I have a hockey stick with Chris Weidman as the hockey. Bro, this guy used to be the shit. Like I thought he was done. Like I literally forgot.
He went to the KHL and then won KHL Defenseman of the Year and came back. And it's a safe deal, whatever. $750K, who cares? But yeah, Ryan Pale. That's gonna be interesting. Training camp's gonna be very interesting. Ducharme, the coaching staff, they need to figure this out because there's a lot of question marks in this lineup. A lot of question marks around certain players right now. Jonathan Drouin, specifically, Paling too, and then Perreault, Paquette, all these guys. Where are they gonna fit in the lineup? Are they gonna be healthy scratches? Like who's gonna be healthy scratch? I guess they're gonna compete for a spot at training camp. that's gonna suck. If Evans doesn't get a spot, I'm gonna be pissed. Palin doesn't make it. I don't know. Yep. I don't know. This team's looks like a borderline playoff team to me, Eric. In that Atlantic, it's tough division. Nonetheless, holy frick, I'm so congested. It's ridiculous. How do you get sick in the summer? Ridiculous. Anyway, I think that's been another episode, right? I mean, that's it. Evander Kane we could talk about quickly, Evander Kane.
Very quickly, yeah.
Very quickly. Evander Kane, as we know, ex-wife just accused him of betting on the games and, throwing them basically.
Yeah.
Evander Kane has denied that, but the San Jose Sharks were looking to deal him during the summer, didn't work out, and now teammates from the San Jose Sharks don't want Kane to return this season.
It's pretty
which
fair.
is understandable.
Yeah.
He's kind of a scumbag, like Terry says. He's had bankruptcy and then this, and then he's flying around partying and stuff in Europe. I don't know where Evander Kane's gonna go. I don't know what that trade's gonna look like, but that's gonna be fuck. Give me something. Give me Eichel. Give me something. Give me a trade. Give me a big trade. Jack Eichel, I swear to God, if Jack Eichel isn't traded by next week, I doubt it, but man, like Buffalo, get going. He's not playing with you next season, right? Figure it out. The guy's not going to be a Buffalo Sabre next year. Come on, figure it out. So give us something. But yeah, free agency still going on. We'll see what happens. But Eric, after next week, I don't know. A lot of sports are going to be dying down. We're gonna have to get in the old baseball MLB. You better do your homework.
Hey,
no, NFL preseason's coming around the start of the season. Hopefully, talk about that. But I think that's it. So thank you for listening to another episode of the Chtib Zhang Show. It was episode 31. So next week 32. Don't know what we'll be talking about next week. Probably free agents, signings, more deals on the horizon coming. NBA, NHL, both. And see what's going on in the NFL with that preseason coming up. And so thanks for listening once again on Spotify or watching us on YouTube. And we'll see you guys next week for the next Chtib Zhang. So peace and take care. So, see you later.